Hey YouTubers and subscribers, this is Darren here, Rocket3 on a Friday evening. Thought I'd do a video on some feeding. Some Southern Delight food. A friend of mine named Sean Armitrud, as you know, also know him as Madness, told me that he started feeding this food called Southern Delight a while ago. So I inquired about it and he told me that he's got some good results from it. So I said, why not? I'll give it a shot. I've been using 3 or 4 different types of food, so I wasn't adverse to trying it. So I inquired, and Sean hooked me up with Conway Stevens, and I ordered some small cichlid, some large cichlid, growth, power feed, and tropical, about 2 pounds each. So I've got it in bulk. Let me go ahead and feed these guys here. Just purchased this food, I just purchased these fish the other day. We went on a group buy, myself and about 6 others. And Sean set it up through Jeff, and these are wild caught. Longimanus, and I got some Alfari, so they're still getting used to this Southern Delight, but they're eating it, they like it. Fish are still a little skittish. See if I can get them to come out here. Longimanus, about 2.5 inches, really started grubbing on this stuff here, so they readily took to it. The Alfari are still a little bit hesitant to it, so, but they are grabbing some of the food, so they're still a little skittish. So we'll walk out here into my other room. Over here is some other fish I purchased last week from Gage at Cichlid Connection. These guys love the small cichlid as well as the tropical. Got some Benai in here as well as some Ratisma. And like I said, sorry about the glare, guys. It's that coming from my 180 next to me with those TA bulbs I've got. So I'm in the process of switching over to Beamswork so I can run all my tanks on LEDs. So anyway, these little guys here are readily grabbing this food. They like it. And over here I've got my Geos and the trio of Feste I picked up from Sean. So you can tell they're hungry. As soon as I get food in my hand, they know where to go. I feed them a little bit of the growth here. I've got several types of Geos in here, some redhead Tapajos, a couple of wild Altafrons, and some wine Millerai. Just put some small cichlid in here and some growth. I put it up here so the food doesn't get sucked into the overflow box. Of course, it didn't take much adjustment for these Feste because this is what Sean feeds them. I wasn't adverse to trying different stuff. Like I said, I was feeding about 4 or 5 different types of food. I tried an experiment that also Sean, he had the same problem. I was using a certain type of food, and it made my filter pads on my large tanks, it turned them brown, a slime coat. And I won't say what kind of food it was. I'm not here to bash any type of food, but I'm certainly endorsing Southern Delight when you get fish start popping color here like this, and this color wasn't on these Geos before. They've really started to come out. So, but I will endorse this food because I do enjoy it, and so do my fish. I enjoy watching them eat, and they enjoy it. Plus, the fact of the matter is, I don't have to worry about a fish grabbing a pellet, breaking it up and spitting it out into different parts and wasting food. I want a fish to be able to grab certain type pellet and swallow it. That way you're not just wasting food. So that type of food I was using, I stopped using it. And like I said, guys, I'm not here to bash any type of food. Whatever works for you, use it. I just know what works for me. And I'm feeding the Southern Delight in conjunction with some different types of a freeze-dried krill. And that's about the only thing else I use. The other foods I've discontinued. I sold off other food that I had to a co-worker that purchased a couple of tanks for me. He bought all my food that I sold, so I didn't have to let it go to waste. As you can see, that food is gone. And like I said, I'm not here to slam any type of food, but give this food a chance. Get hold of Mike, Mr. Man 316, or Conway Stevens at Team Aquatic Support. Give them a call, and they will happily ship some food out to you, and I'm sure your fish will reap the benefits of it. Going over here, downstairs. Into my dining room where my 300 is. These are my grow outs right here. And I've got an array of different fish. I've got some Hartwigii, Bontehilo carpentus. I've got a couple of Microthalmus. Doesn't that look familiar, Sean? He's got a couple of beautiful male Microthalmus that we might start to do some breeding with. And I've got a couple of Burdori here and a very mellow Synspillum. Anyway, I'll throw in a little bit of small cichlid food and a little bit of growth. They really enjoy this food too. This is a 300-gallon tank here, 8 foot long. So I really enjoy it. Sorry about the glare, guys. And out into my garage. So you can see here I purchased it in bulk. Like I said, about 10 pounds of it. And so far, my fish really, really enjoy this food. Let me go ahead and feed them some large. I don't know what it is about the Amphilophus. They love to just hit the top. It's one of my 360-gallon tanks here. I'm looking at my big 14-inch McCourty. A couple of red devils that are starting to peel, about 85%, and a Very nice. Red Tiger Motorguents. Let's feed these guys over here. Like I said, guys, go ahead and get hold of Conway Stevens or Mike Man 316, Mr. Man 316, and I am sure they will definitely hook you up with some Southern Delight. These guys are looking at the other fish here, like, feed me. And like I said, I just fed these guys, and you can barely see any broken up food at all, if none. Versus other types of food I was feeding, you definitely see a breakup. So I can turn this light off here. There we go. And that's one thing that I really liked about it. When Sean told me that hardly any of this food breaks up at all. There's no waste. That was a big seller for me. Plus the fact, as I mentioned before, that the fish star really started coloring up really well. Big old ornate Polypterus, or biker, or bitcher, however you guys say it. Look at the head on him. I've had Polypterus off and on, but I have two of them right now, not as many as Madness has, but I really enjoy them. It's very interactive. I had to take this cave out of my tank here. My big boy here was trying to get at my Melanurus, and he cut his head up, so I put something in there for him. I had to take the cave out, and I had to relocate my Melanurus over here because my big biphil wouldn't leave him alone. It was just relentless on him. I don't know what he decided to start terrorizing him for, but this Melanurus is not small. He's about 11 inches, but of course you're going up against a 14-inch biphil. It's a little bit different. The female Red Tiger Motorguents. She's really not paying attention to the male, which I was kind of hoping they would get together here and spawn, but that's not the case so far. All I can say is I'm really glad I switched over to the Southern Delight. It's a great food, and I totally endorse it. Let's get another look at these guys here. It's a Vontahilo I picked up from Sean. Vontahilo carpentis. And my wild card Argentea. He's about, I'd say, about 12, 13 inches now. Anyway, guys, like I said, reach out to Conway Stevens or Mike Man there, and I know that they will definitely hook you up with some food. If you're in Washington State here, reach out to Sean Almond Trout. I'm sure you can find him. he will get you in touch with Mike or with Conway Stevens. Give this food a try. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Anyways, I'll keep this short here. Hope you enjoyed this little feeding video. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good night.